Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. Right here on Black Liberation Media, in case you didn't know. We go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and we are here to bring you that boom bap breakfast. Yes, us, not just me. So let me show you coming out of DC who she be. She go by the name of Jackie Lukeman. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get lifted up.
I love the part where he goes up at he gets to get real good to him, and he goes
Yeah. Oh man, it is nothing like a good way to start the day. Lift it up out of the bed, all your limbs working, breathing. You might be sore a little bit just for no reason, but tis the season, so we here. How you, Jackie?
That was nice. Okay.
Hey, I used to be a rapper.
All right. Well, tis the season. Happy whatever it is you celebrate or don't.
There it is.
I mean, just glad to see you. Glad to be here. What is the holidays like for people with grown kids, Ear Doctor?
Oh, well, for me, like I said, I just give my kid. Well, I make it friends and family day, just so everybody can be included, no matter what you practice. It's a day off. We can get together, eat, and talk and be merry. So I just pretty much tell my kids, I give them some money and say, "Yo, you did great this year. Uh, here you go." And I don't give them no present, no nothing. I just give them cash, like 2 days ago or something. Like, there you go. Because they know me. So I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to do anything. Yeah. So
yeah, I like Winston. Winston Sayer said, "I celebrate Chinese food," and I did not know that there is a big tradition. I started learning about other holiday traditions a few years ago just because I was curious. Because I never understood, even as a so-called Christian. But I never understood these people and their weird obsession with, everybody hates us on Christmas. No, people hate a lot of us for every day for a whole lot of reasons that have nothing to do with Christmas. But you know how the whites are. So
they open. Chinese places are open. When you ain't got to go to nobody's house to eat. They're open, and you could go get yourself some food and come home and chill.
And that I didn't realize that, but there's also that's also kind of a big deal in some Jewish communities, and some other people who are not Christian. So this Chinese food on Christmas, or Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, it became like a tradition. Maybe it's just in this country, probably is, but I just think it's interesting, just to think about all of the different holidays that are celebrated around the world around this time that have nothing to do with 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 Jesus. Nothing. So when you look at all of the different holidays that are celebrated, and you just Google it around this time of year, they all have to do with either the winter solstice, the end of the harvest season, something like that, some cyclical type of thing. But when you see that there are so many other traditions or religions or cultures that celebrate something during this month in particular, and these couple of weeks, because not even Christmas is celebrated on the same day. in different countries, right?
Yeah,
So then you look at, well, I looked at all this and thought, and this was several years ago when I realized this, like, so why are people pissed off about saying happy holidays to people? Because you literally do not know
yeah.
what people's traditions, faith, practices, what their beliefs are around this particular day at all. So why not just say
Hey,
happy holidays?
people are egotistical and narcissistic. I'm wondering, what do the Muslims do at Christmas, Brother Jamil?
It's
What do the
not a
Muslims do at
thing
Christmas?
that's made up.
I mean, it's a day off, just like everybody else. Do they do? I'm wondering, like, what do they do at Christmas? Brother Jamil, help me out. You know, you the one, you the representative of the Muslims in the chat.
Oh boy.
So, have you
So
ever heard?
yes. So yeah, I mean, because remember, Abdus was an imam at
He
one
said we
time, and
listen to the emotions thing.
I think that's a fantastic way to celebrate the holiday.
And speaking of, while you're doing that, tune in at 10 o'clock tomorrow. I will have a Xmas mix for you to just play if you do celebrate. So, and also we dropped the Patreon, some Patreon footage and content
Mhm,
yesterday with
mhm.
the Remix Morning Show, talking about what the changes of how we see Christmas from being young to how we see it now as an adult.
Yeah, yeah. That's yeah, I was thinking about that a lot. And I'm so
Do
deep
share.
into so deep into I'm off until January, whatever I feel like going back to, to serious work. Probably the second week of January. That
Mm,
I really have lost track of days because I don't look at my phone, I don't look at my calendar, I don't look at, so I forgot that today is Christmas Eve and
mm,
not Christmas Day. But like I was really thinking about, and I was talking with my family in my family chat about when we were growing up and what Christmas was like for us.
mm,
And we probably got the same traditions that a whole lot of black folks who grew up in somebody's church had, with the Christmas play, that
mm.
all the kids in the neighborhood had to participate in.
Uh,
you know, all
yeah.
the kids in the church, the Christmas dinner at church, and then the passing out of the Christmas treats to the kids, which was always a paper bag, a brown paper bag
Really?
filled with that weird multicolored, the Christmas candy in the weird shapes, the little curly licorice thing,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah. Look, candy canes.
not, nope, not candy canes. They
Really?
were like curly, swirly kind of taffy. It was very weird. But that and my favorite candies were the soft, the strawberry gel thingies. I love those, and the little strawberry, red and green strawberry wrapping, and fruit, an orange and an apple, and the apple was always just starting to go bad.
Mm, man,
Ribbon candy. Thank y'all. Thank
ribbon
y'all.
candy.
Ribbon candy.
I've
Yes,
never heard
ribbon
of all this.
candy. Ribbon candy, those great little strawberry candies with the strawberry filling. I still eat those. I still love those. Nuts, assorted nuts, and an apple, an apple that always had a soft spot, and an orange in that brown paper bag.
Oh, y'all eat healthy. How many people eat healthy on Christmas? Like,
That
yo,
was just the
wow.
church. That was just the
Oh,
church. Now,
okay, yeah, yeah.
the big, the main event, of course, was Christmas dinner. Which was everybody in the family toiled in whatever assigned dish that they said they
And
were going to
and
bring.
you rock your Christmas clothes. You got under the new shit you got under the tree to dinner.
Yeah, yeah. If you got socks for Christmas, you better put them socks on,
You damn
because
right.
your parents are sitting there waiting. You can't just sit there and be like, "Oh, thank you, socks." They're like, "Nope, put them on."
I was
I'm
just
like, "Do
excited
they
to
fit?
get
They're
I was
socks."
excited to get new video games. That was all I cared about back in my day. Just new
Mm.
video games. Ah,
I
Atari.
think when I was when I was in elementary school, it was comic books for me.
Mm.
And my mom discovered X-Men,
Oh,
and that's
really?
how I got hooked into X-Men
Mm.
comics. But she would also get me Western comics,
Mhm.
and just kind of weird, like the most random kind of stuff because she didn't know anything about comics. So I read a lot of stuff. Um, and then I think when I got into middle school, that's when she kind of started trying to buy me clothes. But she realized the older I got, the more she had no idea what the hell I liked.
Mm.
And she got tired of her buying clothes for me and me not wearing them because I didn't like them. And she was like, "You know what? I'm gonna give you a book and I'm gonna give you some money. You buy your own damn clothes."
I wonder if people are addicted to holiday traffic. Like, or do you just do you have the need to want to just leave the house, get in traffic, or is everybody just ordering everything on Amazon and saying I'm not getting in that traffic? Because it's like you don't want to order from Amazon, but you don't want to get in the traffic. So what is it, Timu? I mean, what are we doing?
Hey, don't you
Don't
leave my
sleep on
little
Timu.
Chinese suppliers alone.
Yo, the warehouses got to clear out. Like this is the end of the year, so they just giving away stuff. It looked like.
I
So
mean, to truth be told, they always giving away stuff.
I
It
never ordered
just
from there.
that's why I shop there because the stuff
Uh,
is usually pretty decent, and it's incredibly cheap. And I hold on to clothes for decades. Like I literally have 7 contractor bags of my old clothes that I can't fit anymore and Abdus's clothes
hmm.
that stuff. And this is after giving away most of his clothes after he passed, like a year after he passed. But I just I probably have hoarding tendencies, and so and but I don't like to throw things away because I'm always like, well, you
Those
never
are hoarding
know.
tendencies, Jackie.
I you hoarders
I probably.
hoarders hoarders have a hard time letting everything go, and they
uh,
will collect everything has a significant meaning to them, and people who hoard end up like saving disgusting things and never just
mhm.
lit pack rats. That's what I'm kind of talking about. But
Mm.
I'm not that bad. I just don't like wasting things and I don't like throwing things away as long as they still have a use cuz I grew up poor.
When the last
So
time you been to the mall to go shopping, like in to like Christmas shopping, go get you a cookie, go get you a hot chocolate from the food court or whatever, and just walk around and is
the
that what was
last
that what y'all did or no?
we you know what? I don't we didn't. We
Mm,
didn't because my mom and at the time her boyfriend, they were, I think they no, it's not that I think they knew. They knew that I knew Santa was not real.
mm,
They can and how they knew was they took me to the mall one Christmas to meet Santa. And I can't remember how old I was, but I was in elementary school. And we
mm.
were standing in line. This is my mom and my dad standing in line, and they think I'm excited, and I'm just like, "Ugh, God, I don't want to be here." We get up there to Santa. Santa is, of course, a white guy in a beard. This is a black neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So I get up to Santa, sit on his lap. Santa asks me, "What do you want for Christmas, little girl?" I pull his beard off and I said, "He's not Santa." I tell everybody in the line,
No, you
"He is
didn't.
not Santa. Santa is not real. This is an old white man. There's no such thing as Santa. Mommy and daddy, I want to go home."
What you thought you was Scooby Doo or something? Aha! This is Mr. Barnes from the old shop, from the
Well,
shoe
ever
shop.
since ever since then, and it's not because my parents told me anything. In my little smart ass kid mind, we lived in an apartment.
Mm,
We didn't have a chimney. And I slept in the living room. How the hell Santa was gonna get past me?
there it is.
Right? So I just kind of put two and two together. and realized, oh, it's not Santa, it's mommy and daddy.
Mm.
So I never actually saw them buy gifts. They never took me shopping for, when they went Christmas shopping, I never saw where they got stuff, but I knew it was them, and they knew I knew it was them. So they didn't even, other than like not letting me see what my gifts were. Once I did that, they were like, "Well, we ain't got to lie to her about Santa no more. Shit, what else she thinks she know?"
Let me tell you the fly shit my pops and moms did. They went and got a white Santa and brought him to the house just to be like, yeah. So like, yeah, we bought Santa, we bought these gifts. Believe that it's coming from us. And I was like, hey, I know what it is. Because then you would go around the house and you would try to find the shit, find the
Mhm.
stash of presents. So you knew what it was. You really believe the Santa, huh? Wow.
I I mean, there wasn't even anywhere in our apartment for my parents to hide the gifts other than the one closet that was in the living room.
Mm,
So the instructions were around Christmas, stay the hell out that damn closet. So
yeah, I believe that.
but
You
now
ain't get nothing.
my little cousins have they're not little, they are in damn near 30. Um they are married, they have kids now, and they're having the conversation. This is what we were talking about last night. Like, how long did we believe in Santa Claus? Did grandma ever tell us? What did she ever say about Santa Claus? And nobody ever remembers my grandmother saying anything about Santa Claus. But the girls now, my cousins, are now kind of fighting, kind of struggling with what they tell their kids
Mm.
about Santa Claus. And I'm just like, I'm gonna stay out of it because I ain't gonna mess up y'all's kids.
I mean, should we gotta stop giving props to this guy? I mean, really, but I mean, I guess if you're celebrating just like you would Halloween, you celebrate a pumpkin. If you celebrating Valentine's Day, you celebrating Cupid. You know, it's things that go with it. You're celebrating Thanksgiving, you're celebrating a murderess. I mean,
I mean, that ain't a lie. That is true.
so what are we doing here?
Yeah, I agree. It's just tricky because I don't have children, and
Mm-hmm.
I am loath. I do not want to tell people with little people what they should tell their little people about anything, or how they should, because that is an aspect of life I have no insight on. I honestly do not. And
Yeah.
they're not my children, and unless you want me to explain to your children where this stuff comes from, it's not my place to tell
Mm.
you what you should be telling your children.
Y'all gotta help me change this narrative and let's start calling it Family and Friends Day so everybody can be included in days off.
I
That's
like
all I'm saying.
I
Yeah,
like that.
just
I
that way
like
everybody, no matter what, friend, you a family, just come on over. Don't be by yourself. Don't be depressed. Come and let's get together, eat and talk and be happy. How about that? I'm
I
just
do
saying.
like that. I like that
Yeah.
very much.
All right, it started here, right here on Black Liberation Media,
Mhm.
Remix Morning Show. Let's go ahead and
But
take
we
a
have to call, but, but
but
we have to include a festive part in the name too. So yeah,
friends and
family.
fam, but it's 2 months. You got Thanks taken, and then you got Christmas. Those are the two times we get together and all eat.
Friends and family focus season. No, that sounds too much
Whoa,
like
that's
focus on the family. Oh God, I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm
that's too
sorry.
much.
I'm
See,
sorry.
you got to leave it simple and plain. Friends and family day.
Okay. All right. It might grow on me. It might. I
Okay,
like the
all right,
idea. I think the name needs a little.
all right. We'll work on the name.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break and think about some names. Y'all chat room, help us out. Somebody said Black Liberation Love Day. That's a long BLLD.
Mm.
Long D. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway,
Oh,
let's
oh, let's go to the break. You almost went down a really
almost
dark road. And oh,
almost. Yo, so let's go ahead and take a quick break, boy. I tell you, it's crazy out here. Right here, right now, we're gonna take a break and come back with some more of the Remix Morning Show. So let's do that right here, right now. Bam. Damn. And we gonna have a song here. I done picked the wrong damn thing. Let's go back to that.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Remix one show, baby. Yeah. Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. Thank y'all for tuning in right here, right now. Go by the name of Ear Doctor, and this is the show that you are watching. So this is Black Liberation Media. We got a bunch of dope shows. You can also go back. So many shows on this channel. All you got to do is go to the playlist, and you can see shows that you might have not even thought of, you might have missed. But let me take you back to one. Let me give you a throwback show where I got to have 4 hosts on my show. Yeah, I also did a show called The Doctor's Office before that. So let's go to one of these shows where we had some pretty dope guests. I ain't even gonna tell you who it is. I'm just gonna put it up on the screen. Let's do it.
My question for you in this case would be, so I don't know if you saw the film Whiplash, but if you were going to remake that film, recentering perhaps a more appropriate drummer, jazz drummer, who might that jazz drummer be, as opposed to Buddy Rich? Or do you think Buddy Rich was just that good? I don't know.
No. Buddy Rich, he's not on the Dean's list. He's not on the Dean's list. You got Matt Rose and Elvin Jones and them. Come on, man. No. You tell Buddy Rich gets the C+ and about to be glad with it, and we glad he's part of the tradition. But no, Max and them, Elvin Jones and them set levels we ain't got.
Damn, doctor, you ain't gonna give him no makeup work or nothing.
I love it.
Yes.
There's been some great vanilla, jazz musicians, but Bill Evans on the piano with Miles. I mean, that's a beautiful thing, But I mean, Red Garland and them, they taking it to places Bill didn't take it.
Ooh, man, that was a great interview. We just got to sit down and talk about music. Great interview. So go back and check that out. Go to playlist, Doctor's Office, Sundays, and you can go check out that interview with Dr. Cornell West, Dr. Jared Ball, and Kim Brown. All right, let's get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Yeah.
Man, he said, screw that white man.
He said he not on the Dean's list. I ain't never heard that one. I was like, damn. Like, damn, he can't do no makeup work to get on the Dean's list. Shit.
I wish he had that attitude when he was running for president.
See, there y'all go. I'll tell
what?
I'm glad we just talked about music, boy, because as soon I was like, I'm not talking no politics.
Look,
and that's when you get to see the human side of people. When you talk about arts, when you talk about the arts, you get to see the human side of a person without how they feel about certain things. How you feel about this sound, this look.
You don't think people's political positions,
it can be if you want it to be,
human side, especially when those political positions leave or cause precarity and oppression for other people. What you mean? Because those, how many times did we interview him? 3 times. I think his humanity was exposed quite.
Because when you talk about the arts and stuff, it's a little different because we can all resonate with music, arts. We can be on the same team sometimes and be like, "Oh, I love LL Cool. Oh, I love Sade." Let me tell you about this time in my life when I listened to Sade, and you can get in a whole conversation without being on the opposite side. Oh, I don't like this political leader. I don't like this political leader. Let's.
How about I like healthcare. You like healthcare? Oh, you do? Great. Which political leaders want us to have healthcare? Oh, none of them? Oh. I mean, and when you're trying to run for office and well, y'all need to go back and watch.
It's less honest because look how I look at political. Big up to Huggy, yes,
hey.
Super chat is working.
That's right. Come on. Let's get this popping. Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping. Sending in 1999. Big up to Huggy 8340. If you want to get your name in there, all that shout out, do the same. But even when I look at the politics of people with sports, like let's just go there. Okay. Some people are delusional just because they are like, yo, Cleveland is my team. And they're not truthful. You could be truthful when you're talking about arts. Some people are delusional. Like if you talk about being on the red side or the blue side, they just want to be on their side. They don't care about the truth or none of that. And we know that, right? We know that. Don't give me that, Jackie. People be delusional about, like, let's say let me give you a basketball team. Utah Jazz. We're gonna make it this year. Please. You're not
You
gonna make it this year. You've been not making it. But I'm representing my side, my team. That's politics.
that
It is. Go ahead. Go ahead. It is.
that is being a fan, right?
Yeah.
That's being a fan.
A fan of the Republicans, a
That's
fan of
not
the Democrats.
no, 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 no. That's being a fan of
It's a
a
team.
thing, but that thing outside of the political context that sports team exists in, because there are politics that are connected to sports teams, and we know this, but in the context you're talking about, we're just talking about people who enjoy a sport and they have an opinion, and the opinion they're expressing is a hope that their team will make it to all the way to whatever championship it is. That it's not necessarily delusion. It really is just that's how fans are. You know,
Delusional.
just like musicians and visual art. We can say that some of those folks are not entirely truthful either, because those of us who are fans of alternative music, everybody thinks our music is shit. So, so everybody is like, what
So it's
the
some
hell do
politics.
you see? Look, I'm 58 years old. I'm a 58-year-old metalhead. I still get people looking at me cockeyed like, how
I
did you get into that? Like, how are you as old as you are and don't understand how we created all of this? So,
Jackie, I
you know,
understand it's politics and everything. It's just less
it's
politics in
not.
some things.
It's
Yes,
not. It's not less politics in
it's
some
some
things. It's not.
it's politics is the same in everything. Come on.
N-
It's not.
No, because being a fan of a sports team or an artist, a
Mm-hmm.
musician,
Mm-hmm.
like Nicki Minaj, even with her political
Whew.
mess that's going on right now, right?
Mm.
How much damage, like direct damage, is Nicki Minaj doing what she's doing going to cause your pockets? Not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's being used by politicians to cause damage, but she herself do what damage does her art do to individuals? Eh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, people don't like it. People
Yeah.
might not like her presence and what she okay, yeah. But politicians exist to affect the lives of everyday people every day. That is their job. That is what they do. That's what politics is. It is what goes into every day. It is every decision that is made that impacts all of us, but it's also the ideology that goes into the decisions, the stereotypes that go into the decisions, the biases, the coalitions that create the decisions. So being delusional about a sports team making it all the way, like, yeah, Washington Commanders fans are delusional. Yes. And yeah, we've been delusional for a minute. Yes, because that curse is still on that team. You can't tell me it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. But that's also not politics. Now, if you were to say that Washington Commanders fans ignore the racism of the coaches and the owners and the scandals that included sexism and sexual harassment of Daniel Snyder, that's true. That's accurate.
That sound
I
like
think
Trump's
that's
follow. That sound like Trump's followers, right?
it's similar, but that is a separate thing. That's different from football fans or basketball fans just saying of their crappy ass team that couldn't even make it to the playoffs, next year they're gonna make it.
I mean,
That's a different thing.
this
That
whole
that's hope.
world,
That is hope.
this
That
whole
is
this whole world is divided into teams. You got New Jersey, you got New York, you got Trenton, you got New Brunswick, you got Ghana, you got what's another country? Somewhere. So all these flags are different teams. All these different things are teams, and they were like, "Yo, we represent over here." Schools that your high school, they're a
no,
different team.
no,
We
that's not
represent the what's
no.
it's teams. Everybody has a team.
First of all, who imposed those teams? Did we make those teams up? No, we did not make those teams up. We didn't impose those
Did
teams.
we make any of these teams up?
Well, no, but that's
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but that's number one. Number two, being a resident of or from a state or a country is also not the same thing as like being a sports fan and cheering on, Chelsea. Or
USA, USA.
never in my life. No, no.
I'm just saying.
You know,
When we go in the Olympics, ain't that what it is?
some people, yeah. But
Okay.
again, that's not cheering for a sports team is going to do what to your rent? Just cheering
Nothing.
for a sports team. Now, if the argument is that the sports team gets tax breaks that you don't get,
Mm.
which is one of the reasons your rent is expensive. Or if the argument is that the sports team is allowed to destroy working class and poor neighborhoods to build another stadium that the working class and poor who are being displaced are paying for, that's a political connection to sports. But just people cheering for a sports team and saying, despite their horrible record this year, they're gonna make it next year. That's just fans. That's just hope.
Mm.
But yes, there is a political aspect to everything. Sadly, and here's where I think I see your point. Here's where I see your point.
Mm-hmm.
We focus so much on the esoteric. I think that's the word I'm looking for.
It is
Okay, thank
the
you.
outside.
Yes. We focus
See, I break
so
it
much.
down to regular words. Go ahead.
I appreciate that. We focus so much on the esoteric and the aesthetic and trends and what's popular and how we feel, how we individually feel, to the point that we ignore the clear politics in the thing that we are. I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Okay.
it is true because look, as much as I do enjoy college football, and I really do, I can't watch the NFL anymore. And it's actually getting to the point where I can't watch college football anymore
Mm.
because I know the politics. And
Yeah.
I can't ignore the politics and just enjoy the game because there is no aspect of the game that is not impacted by politics, right?
Yeah. So
So
if you're a
that,
political person, you're going to point it out straight
yes,
up.
yes. Most folks are not seeing anything wrong with Nicki Minaj doing what she did at Turning Point USA.
Mm.
I cannot
She
explain
chose
that.
her team. She chose her team.
Okay, I'll take that.
You
Okay.
see, she's like,
Okay.
yo. She was like,
Okay.
y'all Republicans and Trump, y'all going the direction of getting money right now. I'm on that team of capitalism.
And see, I especially struggle with her in this moment
Mm.
because of the politics that are personal. And oh, that has been in my head the past few days. Like the personal is political, and politics are personal.
Mhm.
As somebody who lives and breathes kind of politics, it's hard for me to watch her be who she is in the situation she is in, not a celebrity, but as an immigrant.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, right? She forgot about that. Jesus was an immigrant. Keep going.
they don't give a damn about him neither. You can't. This is the thing. This is what, like, I felt like I could not write that book fast enough. I had a November deadline, and I'm like, every day I'm like, I got to get this thing out, because I do deal in that book with
Mhm.
the fact that we have taken Palestine, not we, I'm sorry,
I was about to say, you
Europeans.
speaking French right now.
I know, not we. Europeans took Palestine out of the biblical narrative. And the rest of us never really looked at what we were reading and realizing, wait, there's something missing. How does any of this story apply to anything that white people ever did when white people weren't there? Because
Mhm.
everything in this book has to do with Palestine. Everything in that book has to do with that region specifically. So it's really weird for Nicki Minaj to be who she is, an immigrant with the status that she herself said was true of her, aligning herself with the people who are supporting a genocide in Jesus's birthplace,
Mm.
because she said that Trump really loves the Christians in Nigeria. I do in that context.
She's an entertainer.
I,
She's not a politician.
it's
She's
true. It's
not
true.
a scholar on that.
Nope. Nope. And
So
and
why are we
and
even giving her any attention?
I I think in the
Because she
context of
has so
what you're
many
talking
followers.
about, like, I think in this extreme context, because how can you wrap all those contradictions up into one person at this particular time? Like that is the perfect a perfect storm of
Mhm.
just absolute mess that makes no sense. So in that context, I'm kind of looking at her fans and wondering, like, how are y'all not seeing? I get that everybody is not political, and I understand that everybody is not, you're not paying attention to politics, but how are y'all still on this woman's
Because
case?
I think they look at it
How?
like I think they look at it like, oh, she could do anything. Like she can talk about politics, she can talk about ratchetness, she could do it all. I don't know nothing about politics, but I can see Nikki's doing it all.
Mm.
I think that might be it. Ricky, is that what it is? No, I'm just playing.
No, I think
Ah.
no, I mean, I know why she's getting the attention. She's being used by
Yeah,
the Trump administration. That's why she's get yeah,
yeah.
that's a part of it.
Mm,
And I think that also the connection to what is going on now in the Caribbean. I mean, obviously this kind of weird right wing ideology is not unique to the current prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago, because I
mhm.
believe that's where she's from.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
so
Trini.
so it's like, and I mean, as a person of faith myself, I don't know why she even hopped into the whole bullshit about, Muslim genocide against Christians in Nigeria, because I ain't never heard her talk about that before.
I
So
think she's I think she's seen Cardi B talking to what's name was like, all right, listen, I gotta show my face on this
hmm,
politics type. She was like, she got with Bernie. Let me go get with Trump so we could be opposite.
I mean, look, I'm just guessing, because about her in particular. I don't pay too
Well,
much attention. And look, I never tell people that I am always right. There is a lot that I do not understand about celebrity culture in general in other countries, particularly when it pertains to politics. Because as much as you think you know and you learn, there's always subtlety, nuance, history that you did not grow up in. So there's always a disconnection between a complete understanding of the way things look from the outside if you really are on the outside. And I always tell people, look, I'm just giving you an opinion on what I see from this perspective. I could be completely wrong about my assessment about all of this. I'm just telling you it looks weird and why it looks weird to me.
yeah. I
If
mean,
you have a different perspective,
mhm.
cool. That's fantastic.
I mean, they say, some people follow the money, and it's a good point. O _PE. Mainstream rap has always been pro capitalism. So,
True.
she
True.
might be following the money. She's like, this is where the money going. Let me go get on the train. But speaking of Trump and trains and all that stuff like that, you see the whoa, yeah, that sounded kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Let me
did. Where
push this button right here.
Phrasing.
uh, but you see Trump has lifted the what was it? Let me read it a little bit into this. So Donald Trump signed an executive order last Thursday to initiate the process of rescheduling marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug, which could impact the cannabis industry in Oklahoma by reducing barriers for research and business operations. Any
ain't no
thoughts on this?
research. Ain't no
Oh,
research. Ain't nobody gonna research nothing. Ain't no research. That is a way for the white folks who have been allowed to control the legal marijuana market to make even more money.
mm,
That's all it is.
yeah, because
'Cause
it
when
says an Oklahoma City dispensary owner said this change would allow businesses to use payroll and accounting services, making it banking easier through state laws will continue to apply to local dispensaries.
Mhm, mhm.
Mm,
And how many times have we had this conversation about these marijuana, decriminalization, measures that have been pushed in states? Did it stop the police from arresting and locking Black people up for possession of marijuana? No.
mm,
No, it did not. Nope. So, I don't know what a and if we want to why do we keep I don't know, I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone. Yep, I am.
I think this dude Trump is doing a lot of things people want at the same time. Some
People
people want.
I was about to say define people. Define people because we want fucking healthcare. Right?
Yeah.
We want healthcare, we want housing, we want affordable and quality education, equitably funded education throughout K through 12 and affordable, if not free,
Mhm,
higher education.
mhm,
We that's what we want. We want a clean environment. We want decent paying jobs. That's what we want.
mhm,
So is he giving the people any of those things? No. He
mm-mm.
is giving his rich friends what
Yeah.
they
That's what Obama was supposed to do for black people. Was that the Mars thing? Was that what he was thinking? Like, oh shit, we got one of ours up in there now. We
well,
about to come up.
I
And Trump got in there and he said, yo, we about to come up.
look, look, Trump got in and he was like, this is how you serve your people.
Yes. I am not
and
mad
and
at that
and
dude.
it's a mess that the people he's serving are of course the ruling class,
Mhm,
but I think that does raise a really interesting point because I think I've said this before. Like, if Trump is able to do all the things he is doing and ignore the courts and ignore the law and ain't nobody stopping him. Not a soul. Nobody.
Mm.
And all of this stuff is allegedly illegal or outside of protocol and all this kind of stuff, but he's doing it because he's saying that this is what the people want, and we know that's not true, but this is what he's saying.
Mm.
How come Barack Obama, with 2 terms and at least 6 months of a super majority in Congress, how come he couldn't do half of the things people told him
Mm.
they wanted? How come he had all of that power and consensus, and all we got was the Affordable Care Act, a Republican legislation that was a piece of legislation that was modeled after a Republican health care plan in Massachusetts, Mitt Romney's Romney Care, and the legislation that was written by insurance industry executives and lobbyists. That's what we got from Obama.
Some
So
would say he was walking on eggshells being a quote unquote first black president, so he couldn't do everything, even though he had what, 2 terms?
uh and this person who is not supposed to be able to do any of this stuff, right? Didn't they tell us? Didn't they tell us that it's supposed to be checks and balances to keep from doing these things? And we
Yeah,
don't. Didn't the Democrats
that's what they
say?
always said, checks and
Yeah, didn't
balances.
the Democrats say we don't want to govern through executive order? What? What? Why? Why? Now,
Mm.
I will admit, I will
Mhm.
absolutely admit that Democrats do not have the kind of internal unity that conservatives have. They don't.
Mm.
They
Mm.
now, and I'm not going to sit here and say that conservatives they're just all better unified than we. Not necessarily. It's not like they all like each other, because there are clear fissures in MAGA over Charlie Kirk, over Guzza. Yeah, there's some over the misogyny, over the Epstein files. Yeah, there's some fissures. So they don't all love each other,
Mhm.
but they are better organized. And they are clear on what their unifying principles are. And that is to seize power for conservatives and to shape the culture with conservative values. That is all of their underlying unifying principle. What are the Democrats' unifying principle
Mm.
that
Hey,
that would serve us?
what? Wait! Breaking news! Breaking news! Breaking
Oh,
news!
what?
Yes, breaking news. We got big up to Latif for giving us this breaking news. Nikki deleted her IG account after losing nearly 10 million followers. Damn,
Wow.
check that politics out.
Well, okay, I stand corrected, y'all. All right, all right. Okay, Nicki Minaj for all 10 million of y'all. All right,
Yeah, they was
okay,
like, you know what? Ain't that some shit?
I mean, look, it's the free market, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Isn't it? It don't aren't we supposed to have? I mean, that's interesting. I did not
Mm.
know that. And that I guess that gives me a little hope.
Look at that. Look at that. I think that it's a lot of youth being politicized more and more every day because of social media, because of all the craziness going on in the country. So that's hope.
I mean, I think nothing radicalizes people of any age better than not knowing whether you're gonna be able to exist
Mm.
in 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anything could have politicized this emerging generations of folks um, more effectively than endless wars, a couple of genocides,
Mhm.
and climate crisis. What they're
Yeah.
looking at, how in the hell did the world get to this point? And they're looking at us.
I think the biggest wake up had to be the COVID thing. Like for them, that we ain't go through
Yeah,
that in our lifetime. So yeah, it was a change.
yeah. I think possibly. I mean,
Mm.
I remember. growing up, like Rwanda happened when I was in high school.
Mm.
So, and I remember that, like, not understanding anything else, not understanding anything else about the conflict, about Bill Clinton, because he was my favorite president then too. Cause yeah. So when I realized that Clinton didn't do anything to intervene to stop the genocide in Rwanda, that's when I fell out of love with Bill Clinton.
Mm.
And then, of course, later on, much later on, I learned a lot more. And then I just hated him even more because it was a lie that the
Hmm.
US was not involved. That was a lie.
Hmm.
So,
So
yeah,
that was the
that's it.
biggest political thing you can remember in your life?
No, not in my life. I mean, I remember not understanding the the Iran hostage issue.
Mm.
Um and kind of wondering, I didn't understand what the conflict was because I think I was in middle school when that happened.
Mm.
Um, so when I learned about it later, it was, in learning about the policies of Jimmy Carter. So I got the context for that years after I remember it happening.
Mm.
Um, and then I think I remember the hostage situation at the Helsinki Olympics, or I remember hearing about it on the news and not understanding what was going on in Palestine that happened that led to that. I didn't even understand. I didn't know where. I was a kid. I was literally a child. I didn't know where Palestine was. I didn't know what was going on.
Shit,
So
that's
there
good.
were lots of things that happened when I was young that I remember hearing about, but I didn't understand the political context of those things until years, sometimes decades later,
Mm.
um, which helped me hate this empire even more with a great maturity and a robustness that I could not have managed in my youth.
Yeah. I think the biggest things I remember would have to be the Reagan crack era, um, Obama getting elected, and I think the whole George Bush thing with going after what who did he take out? What African leader did he go after? Or am I thinking about Bush or Reagan? It was back in the 80s. It
Uh,
wasn't good. Who took out Gaddafi?
that was Obama,
That was Obama.
Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein. Okay, who took out?
Well, he was Iraq, but
Okay, who took out Gaddafi?
that was Obama.
That was Obama,
Mhm.
and it was somebody Bush went after back in the 80s. I forget, and he was
Mhm.
an African leader. Am I bugging? Cause
I
I
don't know.
almost.
I'm drunk most of the time, so I'm sorry.
Would you be
But
sorry?
no, that was kind of like the tail end of the 20 years of Western countries cooing and massacring and exiling the revolutionary African leaders on the continent,
Mm.
that kicked out the colonizers. Um, Maybe it was Edie Amin?
Don't give me a line. I'll
I
check
don't
it.
know. I have to look. And also I haven't had a serious thought in 2 days. So look, don't don't ask me.
I guess it was a Saddam Hussein. I think that might
Yeah,
have been.
but the crack era, I grew up in that. And
Mhm.
there's that's not like anything I have to remember. Like that is I still see the effects of that.
Mm.
That's in right up the street.
'Cause it had a slogan. It was like, "Say no to drugs." Nancy Reagan came through.
That heifer, the throat goat. That stargazing throat goating heifer.
Oh,
Uh,
goat. Damn.
what? What?
I gotta use that. That's all. Throat goat.
It's cold. I'm not not just sitting here being messy. It's true. We all know it's true. We know it's true.
Throat goat.
Oh,
I need a break after that one. Throat goat. Jackie, you put a new one on me. That throat goat. Listen, we're gonna take a break and come back after that. Try to find some news, cause boy, that was a good one. Remix Morning Show, y'all. Hey, it's time for a remix on a remix. Yes.
I'll be over. I'll be obliged if you step outside, because my ride is awaiting. I dated, a steak, a nightcap, we waited, awakened by smells of perfume that I inhale, and then tell how well we raise tail on the Denzel. Satin sheets, heat from your feet, keep me warm. The mood is perfected with the sound from the storm. You can't handle hours more longer than I've ever lasted. Your mind was fantastic, the fuck test you passed it. The way you made a nigga laugh, I had to get you. And when I saw that ass pass, I had to hit you. You're making me fight against my will. What must I do?
Would you kill for me?
Yeah, if my life in danger too.
Even steal for me?
Yeah, if that shit belongs to you.
Then feel for me.
Yeah, if the way you act is true. Who knows? Fine clothes, Lexus O's, you'll be closing when you become one of the chosen. Hoes in different places, different faces, different cases. Got me tied like shoelaces. No mistake, kiss MJG, you ain't gotta be constantly trying to shoot that P, claiming that you ain't heard of me. Keeping it real, let me know how you feel when we communicate. We'll be straight if you express your mind instead of preferring to wait. Some who can't do it lose women, but nigga like me used to it. Space age pimp.
Ooh, man, let me take you to a time and place. Let me take you back to 1971 with Isaac Hayes off that Shaft album, Do Your Thing. Mixed with a little bit of 1995. We talking about 8 Ball and MJG album On Top of the World. The name of that song is Space Age Pimpin'. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare, and donate where at blkliberationmedia.org. Yes, blkliberationmedia.org. You can also drop something right here in the chat room as a super chat. Thank you all for your support as we keep it moving right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. All right.
That was nice.
Man, nice. 8 Ball MJG.
Nice. Yeah.
Isaac Hayes. Go make sure y'all check out the classical breakdown me and Kim Brown did on Isaac Hayes. So many dope songs. So many dope songs. You like Isaac Hayes back in the day?
Oh yeah, I was I'm a huge funk fan. Huge. Okay. Love funk. Love it. Yes. Oh, and I remember the African leader. It was Thomas Sankara.
Oh, okay. Thomas Sankara.
1987. And the U.S., of course, never accepted any kind of responsibility or involvement in his assassination. But just like every assassination and coup and exile of anti-colonial leaders throughout the continent, the U.S., through the CIA, was directly involved, usually assisting the whatever former colonial power or whatever colonial power these African leaders kicked out of their countries. So yeah, that's what it was. That's who it was, rather. It was Thomas Sankara.
Thank you very much. Look at that. Research.
Yeah, it's just like what the you know who it is.
So you got any stories? We got almost an hour left.
what is going on in the world?
Well, while you're looking that up, I did want to give a shout out to this sister right here. Since it is Women's Wednesday, I want to give a shout out to this sister who is a park ranger, uh, uh, Betty Reed Soskin, former national park ranger. She just made a transition at 104, and she was working at that. She just retired like 2 years ago. She's the oldest active national park ranger who celebrated her 144th birthday September. And she's done a bunch of things. She was a singer songwriter. She worked for the government. She had all types of jobs. So many jobs she couldn't even remember all of them, which I believe it. So big up to that sister who made a transition on this Women's Wednesday. All right.
I loved her.
Mm.
I loved because I'm a dirty garden hoe. So
Jackie, you can't say stuff like that around me.
What is true?
I'm too immature.
It's true. I love. Listen, when you let it get above 68 degrees outside, that I will be. You will find me outside barefoot in the dirt with with some seeds and roots and digging in the
Just,
dirt.
just
Yes,
straight hoeing. Just straight
yep,
hoeing.
straight hoeing right in the ground. That's right.
I don't think I'm ever growing up. But
Nope, I'm not. I'm
me
not
neither.
going to. I'm not going to. I know Erica is she is like cut her mic off.
Grease said, yo, I swear first said hoeing ain't easy.
It's not. This is why you have to wait until the ground is 70 degrees before you begin to hoe because it's
Yeah.
too hard. Other so,
Well, if you working for me, I don't care how many degrees out there. You better get the hoeing. I'm the light skinned Willie Dynamite over here when it comes to gardening.
but no, but I loved her and I love the National Park Service. I really do because
Mm.
I like outside. I am a country girl at heart. I really do love being outside. When I do retire for real, it's got to be somewhere where I can be outside all of the time.
Mm.
But yeah, I do. I always enjoyed because she used to do posts and stuff on the website of the park service that she particularly was in charge of,
Ooh.
and I really like reading like her commentary of the history of the park and some of the things that are happening on the trails with the animals. I really love that stuff. So it was
Mm.
always nice to see her
Can you
content.
imagine working till 102 years old?
Hell no, not at nothing, not at nothing. Nope. I don't want to work at getting out of the bed at 102 years old. No.
Damn,
Mm-mm.
man. But
I'm not I don't want to be built like that. No.
to see all the technology changes and all types of stuff change throughout these years, just to be around to see it all, it's just like, whew. I mean, I think about just us in our lifetime, how many changes we seen with technology and this, that, and the third. But for her, she went from straight TV going off at night, black and white, sitting around at the radio. You know what I'm saying? When the radio was the TV, to now you got a TV on your phone.
Yeah. I mean, I think of the fact that when I started working, there was no Windows. Windows didn't exist.
Oh, you talking about on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about
Yeah.
to say, God damn, Jackie, you old as hell if you ain't had no Windows.
You're like, what are you, Lilith? Jesus. What you mean there? Had no
It's like,
windows.
shit. What was you in that cave? They hadn't built windows yet. We hadn't gone outside of the caves or
No,
made log cabins or nothing yet. Or
not
huts.
the physical windows, the word
Okay,
processing,
okay,
the
okay.
operating system,
I got
Windows
you now. I got you.
didn't exist. Microsoft Word, it wasn't even that didn't exist then either. Yes, it did. Microsoft MS DOS was kind of new when I started working. So I learned word processing
Mm.
through MS DOS, and nobody who is younger than me knows what the hell that is. So,
Mm.
so everybody, most most people remember the internet always existing, right? The people were born when the internet existed. The internet didn't exist when I was in high school, when I graduated from high school.
Mm.
Probably, I think, yeah, by the time I started working, the internet was new. The World Wide Web then was new, and then that's when the AOL chat rooms. Well, that's when AOL came up, um, and all of these email services and the chat rooms and all of that kind of stuff. And but there were no smartphones. There were no cell phones then.
How about you couldn't even reach me until I got around the landline? I wasn't
Right.
even available until I got around the phone. How about that?
Exactly. Exactly. Hell, I remember not having an answering machine.
Oh yeah. I remember when them shits came out. It was like, oh, word.
Yeah.
Then we will make answer machines and trick people to be like, hello, hello,
Uh,
hello. You was just reached the wrong. We're not here right now. Man, what? Don't give us no technology.
mhm. Yeah, so
Wow, we
it's
are that old. TV went
yeah,
off.
yeah, it did. And people, I actually talked to somebody a couple of weeks ago who did not believe me.
I
It did
believe.
not believe that
Yeah.
television was not on 24/7, that you did not have like 187 channels to choose from. There were 3 channels. There
Mm.
were in
Back,
DC. There were
yeah.
3 channels.
Back when you could send your kid to the store with a note for some play the lottery and buy cigarettes. Come on.
They would take money from children for the lottery, y'all.
And a pack of cigarettes. Hey, as long as you got a note. As long as you got a note, you good. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Wild times. I
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
So it's still. I think the younger generation need to give us a little bit of grace when it comes to understanding this nuance of how things work nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, things society has moved very, very fast in regard to technology. And now that I kind of think about it, that does have an implication on on us, on how we develop as people.
Mhm.
And I don't know what that means though. So I kind of got to look into that. Look at that. I just gave myself another damn project
Yes, yes.
over this
More
holiday.
content, Jackie. Another book. Let's go. I mean, this whole show today is about just culture. You know, as you read on the thing, it says news, politics, and culture. We talking about it all here, so this is a reason.
Mhm. Yeah, I do think the fast, not just the advance of technology, but our over reliance on technology has affected our brains.
Mm.
Because I do have, and I think I noticed this even before the kidney transplant, which absolutely screwed up my memory because that's just how it works. Um, but and just getting older and
Jackie, I got a quick test before you go. How
huh?
many phone numbers you remember in your head?
That's what I was getting to.
Mm.
That's exactly what I remember my aunt's phone number. I remember my grandmother's phone number. My grandmother passed a few years ago, but I remember my aunt's phone number, my grandmother's phone number, and my old cell phone number. But
Mm.
I have a difficult time remembering new numbers
Yeah.
because all I do is look at my smartphone and go to contacts and find their name, and I don't.
I
Yeah,
have a hard time remembering how we found people's houses back in the day.
man, because didn't we used to print out 58 pages from MapQuest?
Yes. Yo, and driving in the dark, looking
Yeah,
trying to find out. Okay, is this street right here? This is where
yep.
we supposed to
And you
turn. Now, you
driving with the dome light on, hoping that you don't
what?
get stopped by the cops,
Yes.
right?
Wow.
Yes. Or I had learned how to read a map because when I was in middle school in my little hometown in Jarrett, Virginia, I was in 4-H, and that's one of
Mhm.
the things they taught you, how to read a map. So I knew how to read a map. But yeah, having a GPS in your phone?
Shh.
What?
Take you
What? There
right
was no, there
there.
were no cell phones.
Nah.
None. So you either had that fold out map,
Hmm.
or once the internet was made public in the late 80s, and all of these websites came up, which were very useful, MapQuest, you had to print those directions from MapQuest out,
Yeah.
and somebody else had to read it, because if you were driving yourself. And then um then that's when the standalone GPS units were created,
Mm.
the Garmin's and the see. Yeah, most people don't even remember those, and that wasn't that long ago,
You know
and
what?
that was
Which with us having this conversation, I'm thinking about the fall of community with technology.
oh.
Like the fact that okay, now we were more communal. We knew our neighbors right around here. We ain't had to have a map to go find other people over here maybe. And the fact that we was outside, we had the street lights to look at to come home. We didn't have phones, so we could just be out till whenever time until the street lights came on. And we
Hmm.
didn't have, I don't know. I just look at the and then now you on your phone all the time. You got your Game Boys that came out in the 90s and 2000s. Now kids are constantly playing games. Sit in the back seat and play this game while we drive. And go in your room and play your game. Like technology really like took away the community in us. I feel
Well,
like.
I think that's where I kind of struggle.
Mm,
I don't want to blame it entirely on technology just existing and advancing, because
hmm
that's when you create something, and if it's going to benefit society, it's going to evolve as society evolves. And I think that's okay
mm,
generally. I know there's
mm,
plenty of discussion within that about how that looks for different people and all that kind of stuff. I think that we became too reliant on the convenience that technology provided us. And we replaced connection with convenience, right?
mm,
So instead of, and this is something I catch myself doing, and I've been working on not doing it anymore. Yeah, we can quickly text people
hmm
and send a message real quick, but we become used to doing that. So then that is the primary way that people communicate with each other, instead of the phone is right in your hand. Call them, hear their voice.
Yeah.
And if
I
they're in the same city, why are you texting them? Go over to,
I
you know
u-
what I mean?
I would go to the grocery store and run into people. Now people who Grubhub or whatever they do, they order food from the grocery store and bring it to their house. They don't even go out into the community. You can stay home all day and get stuff ordered to your house.
I mean, that's what I'm doing this past couple of weeks. So I'm not, don't hate on me. Don't you
Nah.
hate on me, because I have peopled enough for this year. Do you understand? I'm like, but I see I see the use and the utility for those kinds of services, right?
Mhm,
Because we all went through COVID. We understand why those things, the instances in which those things are necessary. Because what if there is an emergency and you can't get out? Or what if you are sick? You're recovering from an injury or from surgery and you can't go to the grocery store and you don't have a whole lot of people who can run errands for you. Yeah, these services are helpful.
mhm,
But if those services are what makes it easier for people to not have contact with other people, then that
a good
becomes the
thing.
issue, right? So
Mhm,
and of course, with these kinds of delivery services, there is the exploitation of labor, and the rise of these services being turned into this capitalist opportunity, to make extra money and lift yourself up, when really it's just another way to exploit people and rip them off. Yes, that's true too, but I think there, in the pros and cons, excuse me,
Mhm.
that we're looking at ourselves in this society through. I think sometimes we tend to blame the technology
Mhm.
and not really look at how we have engaged with the technology, right? And
Right.
how we have not really done a good job in I hate to use a phrase, but we kind of haven't done a good job in carrying out, like, for lack of a better word, work life balance, or a kind of balance with technology and how much influence the technology is going to have over our lives. Because when they started making the smart TVs and the smart refrigerators and the smart ovens, I'm like, why, what is the purpose? How does having your refrigerator talk to you? What
Working
is
at
that?
home, you have nobody to talk to. You got Siri to talk to, you got a dog or a cat to talk to, and you got a refrigerator to talk to now.
And see, that's why it is so easy. It's easy to, and then on the other side of that, you think that you are
You're the master of your
participating.
universe,
Yeah,
and you don't got no arguments.
exactly. And the whole time the fucking CIA is spying on you through
Right?
your smart
You
refrigerator
gotta
and your
give to
smart
get.
TV.
You gotta give to
The
get.
whole time.
You give up your data, and we'll give you technology.
And yeah, I mean, there's there's so much to think about, and I have to, I try not to make, like, concrete, finite, this is what it is kind of statements about it, because I recognize that I'm looking at this from a particular kind of class position, right? Because I think this is different for people in different segments of society.
Hmm.
L- Like, most poor people are not going to afford a smart refrigerator. So that's not really something they need to, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But not having this technology, not having a smartphone, can be harmful to people for some of the things they need to do, like get a job. Because if people can't reach you, or you can't call places to set up an interview, because there are no payphones anywhere anymore, how can people reach you? So if you don't have
Yeah.
a cell phone, if you don't have this technology, then you're locked out of society in a way.
I think that's one of the blessings of still the elders and older people still going to church is that's like one of the last stands of community, like place you can go out and see somebody else and really be amongst the people. Other than that, it would be a job, but then you got so many jobs at home now, you don't see anybody. You don't have to go to the grocery store now. You don't have to do much of anything outside.
I mean,
So big up to churches for keeping that community spirit. Big up to people that go to schools, colleges, because that's really the only places you can get it at. Mm.
I think sometimes I feel like, mm, I think there is an issue, but I
Mhm.
sometimes, I try to be careful to not exaggerate something that might not be that big of a deal, because when I do go out, there are plenty of people out. I'm in Washington D.C., and yes, it's true that this year there are far fewer people outside than previous years.
Mhm.
And that's obviously because of the National Guard deployment. That is
Oh yeah.
absolutely true. That is absolutely, absolutely true. And you're not going to find a whole lot of people in DC who will not tell you that this past summer in DC, going out, this place was a ghost town. The 14th Street, U Street, Tacoma Park, all of the downtown Pennsylvania Avenue, all of the regular social spots, the wharf, ghost town because of
Mhm.
the National Guard deployment. But before this period, there are plenty of people out, plenty of people out. But what I had not seen a lot of, particularly in my neighborhood that I grew up around here, being a part of and seeing a lot, was kids out in the streets playing everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think with the younger generation, there is a lot of that hyper focus on the devices, not having a lot of social interaction outside of school, and whatever other community activities the family has the kid in, like church or scouts or something like that. I think that is an issue among the youth. But again, I don't have kids,
Yeah.
so my observation is completely from the outside looking in.
I was so excited. I seen like four or five kids riding their bikes together. I was
Mm,
like, that's me and my crew back in the day. Like I was like, they outside. I was so
mhm.
excited just to see that. It was so ridiculous that
Yeah,
that made me so excited. But it was like, yo, they outside. This is how we used to drive around, get around, and form that friendship, that community. It's crazy. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But that's why I love Halloween so much. And every year, fewer and fewer
it
children
is.
show up
They don't
for.
even come down my block.
Yeah, but there are a couple of families. There are not, most of the kids in my neighborhood have grown up, but there are a few new families that moved in. And it's really nice because one family is Ethiopian and the other family is, uh, shoot, where are they from? Ghana, I believe.
Okay.
And their kids are great. Their kids are outside all the time. They love the dogs. They love all the dogs in the neighborhood. They want to walk everybody's dog. There are a bunch of stray cats running around here. They're always chasing the cats around. They're down in my garden. They will come knock on my door and be like, "Can we dig in the garden?" Yep, help yourself. Go
Nice.
ahead. Yeah, take some stuff to your mama. Go ahead. And that
And
I love that. That's
yeah.
great.
That's funny because I remember we had a guy that lived on the corner back in the '80s when I was a kid, and we would go over there to get a batch of collard greens. He grew all the stuff right there, a nice little garden, and yeah, we would go down there and give him his money. He had all his little paper bags and put his stuff in there, and boom, there you go. That
Mhm.
I miss that community. Walking to the used to walk to the corner store where they had the arcade. That's where we ran into our friends, the arcade, the corner store. I remember I was hanging out in the corner with all the drug dealers, and my dad drove by. He was like, "Boy, get your ass back home." I was like, "But dad," I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna go home." So I hang out a little bit. My dad drove off. I seen him do a U-turn in the middle of the street. I saw,
Yeah.
I saw speed walking like a mug. Yo, man, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, that
Yeah,
was
this,
it.
having your parents know every single one of your teachers and your friends and having
Ooh.
all of their phone numbers.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
And permission to beat your ass. Like I give your
Listen,
your mom said I could beat your ass if you over here. I was like,
look, I cut a
damn.
class one day in school. A class. I cut a class.
Mm,
And I was literally just hanging out in the back of the school with a bunch of kids, and because I hated that class because it was physics and I hated physics.
mm.
Um, I was not the science kid. I was the literature kid. And the English kid. And the social studies kid. Surprise, surprise. um, so I go to the next class. Go to the next class, and my teacher says to me when I walk into the class, "Your mom called me. I think you're in trouble."
Oh
And
man.
I'm like, "What the fuck?"
You just shook the whole day until you
Shook. And I,
you
and
get
I
home.
was in trouble because my teacher from the previous class that I skipped called my mama at work. And then my mama called my next teacher and said, "If she doesn't show up in class, call me. And if she does show up in class, let that heifer know that I know."
Damn. Yeah, I remember coming home and my coming home one time and I knew I was in trouble and I was like, fuck. My mom was like, go to your room and take your clothes off. I was like, what? 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 I was like, I can't have no clothes in between the belt. Like you just want to just leave whelps on my body?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
You
Like that whole slavery mentality right there.
Man,
What?
look.
Go get a switch from the backyard. Go
Oh
get
my
a
God.
belt. Go get me
Mm-mm.
something I can beat your ass with. I don't want to do it with my hand. Just give me a shoe, something. Like, yo,
Extension
that's
cord.
why we call these kids soft nowadays. Like,
And
boy.
and that and listen, I gotta say, um, can we please stop saying that kids today need their ass beat? Because I got my ass beat and I turned out okay. Motherfucker, ain't none of us turn out
You're
okay.
right. You're
None of
right.
us
You're
turned
right.
out okay. Not a one. We were all deeply traumatized, not just by the corporal punishment from our parents, but we
Mm,
were traumatized because of the system that came from, because we didn't even realize we were still living in the same damn system that created that mentality.
mhm.
And our parents didn't realize it.
Nah,
They
they
didn't realize that's where that came from. They
mm,
did not. Some of our parents, thank God, some of our parents were a little bit more enlightened and realized the damage that corporal punishment really does cause children. Yeah, I get little people can be, woo, Lord have mercy. And I don't have them. And I was a smart ass child. So I understand. I
I
understand.
think it's the thought of like, yo, the child needs to get that when the child touches that stove, they need to get their finger burnt so they can learn not to do it
Okay,
again.
but touching the stove is that, yeah,
So that burn is
that's
that
an
belt.
immediate consequence of your actions. I already feel bad. You don't need to beat me. And look, there are plenty of discussions about
Mm,
how children whose brains are not even fully developed, not anywhere near close to fully developed, so they cannot make reasonable adult decisions all the time. Sure, they can reason and they can express what they want, but the kind of complex, like, decision making and reasoning that adults want children to make is ridiculous, knowing that children's brains are not developed, and knowing how many fucked up decisions we know we make,
mm.
and our brains are allegedly completely developed. So I don't understand how we think we're going to teach children whose brains are still growing. So they are
Yeah.
literally learning how to make decisions, how to
Mhm.
go through the decision tree in their minds. And instead of us helping them do that, we beat them when they don't.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and and as if them not making the decision that is the most responsible or the best decision as children is like an intentional thing. Like, no, they're kids, and they're making child decisions with their little child brains. You got to give kids some slack. And if you want them to do something different, you have to show them what it is,
Mm.
right? And I get that sometimes punishment is necessary, but I don't know that punishment has to include putting your hands on a kid.
Yeah. Zinzabel made a good point. Some adults don't have fully developed brains. Very
I
true.
think that's kind of
And
obvious.
that's the whole thing about being called an adult. Are you an adult or are you just a grown ass kid? I mean,
Mm,
a lot of people, to me, being an adult is having responsibilities and accountability. I think that helps you to take the step into adulthood. Because when how do we range it now without a rites of passage of how when you become an adult? Because to me, I didn't become an adult because until I really realized, okay, I got to take care of myself. But then I had a kid. And I was like,
mhm,
oh shit, it ain't just about me now. I got to take care of others. So there came the responsibility. There came it's not just about me. And I felt like that's what made me an adult. A lot of people don't go through that.
mm.
So when's the turning point of becoming an adult?
I I don't know. I don't know, because look, I see way too many people my age and older who act like a bunch of damn teenagers. And
Yeah.
technically they're adults, but I guess since they are, that is the choice they're making, them being immature, pains in the asses, I guess that's the adult decision that they make.
Because America teaches you you're an adult at 18.
I mean, you legally you are allowed to make your own decisions. You are legally responsible for your own life
Mm,
at whatever the age of of legality is set in whatever society. In this country it's 18. I think in other countries, depending on what it is, like it's a
mm,
different, I think you have to be 16 to get a learner's permit to drive,
yeah.
right? You have to be, well, you used to have to be 16 to get a work permit. Now you can be 8, apparently, in
Mm.
some states. Um, there's an age of consent for marriage in some states, which is creepy as fuck. But you know how these white people are.
You're an adult because you're out of high school and you can work now. How about that? That's
That
what America says. You're an adult. You can
and
work
that
now.
oh my god,
You're an adult. You need to pay these taxes and you need to work. So you're an adult. Congratulations.
I don't. Uh, this I think I'm coming to realize as a human being, it's hard to define what is accurate or what is appropriate in a society where nothing that is established is actually appropriate for anybody.
Mm,
Like what is it, what does it mean that someone is considered legally an adult at 18 so they can go into the military and kill people,
mhm,
right? But they can be allowed, or at least girls can be allowed to marry at 16
mm. It's all
in some
crazy.
states, 15 in
And your
other states,
brain doesn't develop till all the way to what, 24, 25?
24, 25. So that's just, and I'm sure there is a capitalist reason behind those arbitrary ages, 15, 16,
Work. They
18,
don't care. Listen, they care when you can work and keep America going.
and have babies,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
legally have babies, and where they can legally tell you, okay, you can get married and have a bunch of babies now.
yeah.
Yeah,
They don't care about.
that's
They
what it
don't
is.
care about your mentality or the fact
No, no,
you can
no,
work
not at
now.
all, not at all. So I do think that we should be. I think this is just another aspect of decolonization. Like,
Mm,
we need to stop thinking of adulthood as what the state says
yeah,
adulthood is.
yeah,
You know your child better than anybody else.
yeah. Because I had it in my mind like, okay, you're an adult now. You can move out the house, but why are we pushing our kids out the house when they're not adults? And the fact that like other cultures in different places, you don't leave the house till you get married.
Now,
Like
look,
you help the household, you work, you put some money down, you help the household. Once you get married, then you leave the house. But right now we like, yo, high school's up, college coming, where you going? You out the house. We don't want you here no more.
yeah, that's I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that that was true in not every other culture, in not every African culture, not every global South culture, because European cultures do this too. Italians, this is big in Italy. And there are in Italy, it's very interesting. In European cultures, I think there is a level of misogyny
Mm,
in the practice that is pretty obvious, right? Because
mhm,
the girls, it's true that girls and boys stay home until they're married, but the girls are encouraged to get married as soon as possible.
mhm.
And the boys are pretty much allowed to just take their time and live their lives and date
So
and
your
do
royal
whatever.
oats.
Yeah, sow their oats, where the girls are really, really, no, you cannot be out here dating like a whore. You
Mm-mm.
know what I mean?
Nah.
So that there are some contradictions
Yeah.
in the way this is practiced in some societies, but I do think um the way we push our kids out into this heartless, brutal, evil capitalist system that we know is going to chew our people up because it chewed us up.
Hmm.
I think we should stop doing that.
Yeah.
I really, if we are able to accommodate not just our kids, but any family member, any community member who needs the support and we need the help, I do think we should, especially with our kids, if they need a few years after high school to figure out what they want to do, if they want to stay home while they go to college,
Hmm.
if they have to stay home the first few years while they're in the job market because they can't afford to find a place to live, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Why are we looking negatively? I never could get women who are like, oh, he still lived with his mama.
I
He,
think we got. I think we got to figure out because here's for me. I'll be like, okay, so how do you teach a kid how to fly if you constantly keep them in a nest?
well,
So what?
that's the
So let
thing.
me
You're
let
not
me finish.
forcing the child to stay.
Yeah, yeah. My thing is like, so how do you teach them? Well, you let them stay in the nest and you teach them. But before I was like, yo, kick them out the nest and let them learn how to fly. I guess, and at the same time, me with both of my parents making a transition during the teen, it made me it forced me into adulthood like that. I was like,
Mm,
okay, well,
mhm.
I gotta fly. You know what I'm saying? So then my mentality, yo, y'all gotta learn how to fly. If y'all wanna, you know what I'm saying? But it takes a little longer to learn how to fly. I was pushed out the nest.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think I was. No, I wasn't. I wasn't pushed out of the nest because I graduated high school. I applied to colleges. I got accepted to Penn State, but I couldn't get a scholarship because I hated physics. So I didn't do
Mhm.
well in my science classes. I did not do well enough in my science classes to get get my GPA and my SAT scores high enough, up high enough to get a scholarship. So I ended up going to UDC. Hated it for I guess a year, and I
Mhm.
stayed at home. And my mom was not like get out, but growing up in this very individualistic system, being young, wanting to be independent,
Mhm.
the first man that came along and thought I was cute.
I'm out.
Yeah, yep, yep, yep. And listen, and that's not a bad thing. That was just my path. But my
Right.
mom didn't push me out like that. Even when I said to her, "Look, you can stop paying for college because I am bored to death. I'm not going back."
I think after they finish high school, we should be their landlords. Is that I don't want to say it like that, but I want to say it like let me be the first person to be like, yo, you need to have your rent on time. You need to get your shit together because if they don't feel any type of pressure while they are at home, once they get out in the world, how are they going to adapt to that? So I feel like you need to be their landlord.
Well, I hope you.
I don't know, sound good, but
No, I hope we're not like you're not going to be like a slum landlord parent.
no, they got a good house to stay in, but you need to contribute to this household. You need to clean up. You need to take the trash out. You need to, if you do get a job, pay a bill. Put some money down on the bill or something, but it needs to be consistent so they can learn consistency and how to deal with paying bills and how to be responsible.
I learned that in high school though, because my
Mm,
mama was on that, and I think most, cause but I was also a latchkey kid, right? So that was my job. When I came
mm,
home from school, I did my chores, you took the trash and made sure I took the trash out. There were dishes in the sink, and there weren't any because I washed the dishes the night before. That was my job. But just in case Mama made some coffee in the morning and put her cup in the sink, I had to wash the dishes. Uh, if she left me a note to take something out to thaw, I had to do that, and then I had to start on my homework.
mhm,
I had my, so all of that, and then I always had a summer job. That was a great thing about growing up in the 80s in DC, and then I find out later that this was a national program. It was a federal program,
Mhm.
summer youth employment program here in DC. So I always had a summer job. So I
Mm.
learned in high school, starting in the 10th grade,
Mm.
how
Yeah.
to how to put my little money aside. My mom, every time I got a paycheck, every paycheck, did you put this aside for your school clothes shopping? Put
Mm.
this aside, and then you put this. My mom taught me the envelope method, right?
Yeah.
So I would cash my check, get the money in cash, and then have envelopes, and have my envelope for like movies. So I
Mm.
put my movie money in the envelope, and that went off to the side, and I had an envelope for shopping, school
Mhm.
supplies. That's what it was, school supplies. So I put my little money in that envelope, put that off the side, and every paycheck I would put money in each envelope.
She was
And that
teaching you financial literacy.
I was hoping you
Ah!
would. I was back in the day, we just called that money management.
Right.
I don't understand why we have to keep coming up with these ridiculous, but it's money management, how to
Yeah.
manage your money. Now, the interesting thing about that was my mom taught me how to save,
Mm.
but that was during a time when the cost of living was somewhere closer to the average salary of the workers, right? It was less expensive to
Mm.
live in DC and in this country. Now, that's relative, because when you're poor, everything is expensive,
Mhm.
right? But it was a little bit easier to save money, and you could buy a lot more with the money that you had. Like my first apartment, when I finally moved out from my ex-boyfriend and my mama got me an apartment in our building that I grew up in, my first apartment was a one-bedroom apartment with a bay window with parquet floors all throughout. It's $470 a month,
Mhm.
utilities included, right?
Mhm.
So
Phew.
it cost a lot less money. It was easier to make ends meet for
Mm.
more people, not for everybody, but for more people, in the 80s and the 70s, in the 60s. That doesn't exist anymore. The cost of living has so far outpaced the average salary of people in this country, of non-rich people in this country, and not just poor people, working people too. The cost of living has made it so that even if you do have a good job, you can barely afford to keep a roof over your head. And there's really no amount of teaching um money management, financial literacy. There's no amount of teaching people how to save when you can't even afford. You can barely afford to keep the rent paid,
Mhm.
and you barely have anything left after you pay your rent to feed yourself for 2 weeks. Right? That is the reality of why this idea of financial literacy now is just bullshit.
Mm.
It's just garbage. But even back then, even though it was a little easier to save money back then. You were never going to get as rich as the ruling class, never ever. I don't care, even if you did invest in like Microsoft and Amazon when it first came out. Unless you had thousands and thousands of dollars in order to continue to buy those stocks, so that you could amass the thousands and millions of dollars that the stock eventually became valued at, you would still never be as rich as the people who could afford to buy most of those stocks.
Mm. Let me ask you this: did your mom teach you about credit cards?
Unfortunately, no.
My dad told
Nope.
me to stay away from credit cards and just use cash.
Nope.
But this was
Because,
the '90s.
yeah, because I think my mom, she didn't get her own credit card. Now, you remember, women could not get a credit card in this country until the late 70s.
Say
Single,
word.
yeah, I'm saying, yeah. If you were a single woman or if you were divorced, you could not get a credit card in your name or a bank account in your name, I think,
Word.
until the late 70s, right? And credit cards were not always around either,
Mm.
right? So my mom didn't, I don't think she got a credit card until probably I was probably in high school when she got her first credit card. And man, she was so nervous to use that thing. And every time she used it, she paid that sucker off.
Cause did they check credit? Like, when did they start checking credit? Like, that's a
That,
whole nother question. When did they
woo,
start chechecking credit?
practically everything we talked about is like the first 5 shows of next year for Luke Mon Nation.
Oh, word. No, we getting y'all ready, y'all, for 2026, man.
Yeah, because the history of the credit score and FICO and
Mm.
all of that, ooh, that's steeped in American racism.
Yeah,
It
because
really
now
is.
it's like it's taught like you can't make no moves if you don't got your credit right.
Hmm. And
Like you
that
got to
didn't
get your credit.
always, that was not when the middle class grew in this country during and after World War II, there was no FICO score. Won't nobody checking no credit. When they built all of those suburban housing developments that were segregated, that were only
Mm.
for white people, they weren't checking them people's credit because there
You
was
got.
no mechanism to do that. There
It's
was
like you
no,
got money. Let's do it.
you got money, you white? Okay, here you go.
Say less.
Sign this contract to promise that you are not going to sell this house to a Negro
Mm,
or a Chinese
mm.
when
That
you
was your
leave.
credit.
That
That's where the term credit to your race came from.
I hope not.
You're a
What
credit to your race.
did I watch when I was a kid and I saw that and it was Good Times.
Mm.
There is an episode of Good Times where Thelma, I think, is in a beauty pageant and
Oh,
I'm thinking
Thelma.
it. And the host says something to her like, "Oh, you're so beautiful, blah blah blah." And of course, she's one of the few black contestants, I think. And maybe it wasn't Good Time, but I know I saw this on some show where there was a black woman in a beauty pageant, and the white host says something like, "Oh, she's so beautiful, she's so articulate, she's so well spoken, she's a real credit to her race." And I remember turning around and asking my mom,
What's the credit to your race?
but no, I remember turning around and asking her, Mama, that does not sound like he was being nice. And my mom, who was, for all intents and purposes, a seamstress sitting there with her sewing in her lap, she's like, because that cracker won't being nice. That's a damn insult. If anybody ever says that shit to you, you punch him in the throat. I'm like, so see, I didn't steal this antagonism. I ain't steal it. That was my mama.
Your real credit to your race, boy. So do we teach? So I'm up here telling my son, I'm like, okay, now that you got a car, you got a job, let's get you a credit card, and only thing you pay on this credit card is your gas, so that could build up your credit. So that's what I'm figuring out now, that you need this credit to get a car, to get a house, to get an apartment, to get certain jobs, to get in certain clubs, to get into certain things. This is the new things. So now we're teaching our kids, okay, get a credit card, build up your credit. That's wild to
And
me, because I'm like, yo, get cash and don't be in debt. Only get shit when you need it. That's how I still go. I don't have, Jackie, to this day, I don't have a credit card.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I have one and I hate it. And I had to get it because look, when you go through the shit that I went through the
Yeah.
past
It
five
makes
years,
sense not
it's
having
like,
no health
look,
care.
listen, I don't
Yeah.
know. Emergencies happen. And
Yeah.
and if you don't have that cash in the bank, that what are you gonna do? And GoFundMe isn't. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't like the marketing of credit cards to children, to
Mhm.
teens. That is bullshit. But that's also capitalism, right? Because more oops,
Oh, you a
sorry
hot
about that.
girl. Hot girl, hot girl alert.
Mm, it ain't Santa though. So
So- checking to see if you naughty or nice.
Santa did not come and pay this mortgage off, so
Hey,
he ain't got nothing to say to me till he show up with this deed.
no, that's right.
But yeah, I don't like the marketing of credit cards to teenagers that
Mhm.
we're seeing now. But this
Yeah.
is also capitalism expanding
Oh, definitely.
once it loses an aspect of its support system, because more of us are realizing that capitalism is a scam.
Mhm.
So more people are having to live day to day off of their credit cards. Anytime you can now buy groceries
Mm.
through installments, these people know how bad the economy is. They know. And all they're doing is creating new ways for people to continue to prop the system up, even as people fall farther and farther behind and get deeper and deeper in debt. That's fine for the ruling class, because the more debt we are in, the more money we pay them
Mhm.
through interest rates and all of this kind of stuff. So they don't care.
Credit card, college, get a house, get a car. Debt,
Hmm.
debt, debt, debt.
Yeah.
Straight off the rip, right
Yep.
after high school. So
Hmm.
now you are an indentured servant.
That's
You have
right.
to work.
Hmm. Hmm.
Hey.
Yep. They never want you to pay it off. That's why they're trying to introduce this 50-year mortgage bullshit. That's why.
Yeah. 50 years of indentured servitude.
So now people graduating from college will have student loan debt for the rest of their lives. And if they can qualify for a mortgage, now they're going to have a mortgage for the
Mm,
rest of their natural lives.
yes.
And that, when do you ever, and people are always saying things, oh, in the communist countries you can't own anything. 98% home ownership rate in Cuba, 96, 95% home ownership rate in Venezuela, same in Nicaragua, same in China.
Mm,
What are you talking about? You can't own but because we're broke, and we cannot afford to travel to see for ourselves the way things exist in other countries, we of course we believe what they say.
mm.
So
So is freedom a dream here in America?
oh, okay, thank you for that. 'Cause here
You
in
see how I lingered
America,
it. You see how I lingered it a little bit.
yeah, yeah, you did. I like that. That was nice, because that change, that was a little pivot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here in this place, yeah,
Mm,
it's a pipe dream. It's freedom. Well, I shouldn't say liberty. This idea of liberty is a
mm,
pipe dream that has been sold to people in this country. And I swear, the more I learn about the history of the development of capitalism on our backs and on the backs of the indigenous in this country in particular, and how the development of capitalism spurred how the development of capitalism that happened because of genocide and slavery influenced the development of industrialism in Europe, and how that influenced the massive European migration to this country
mm,
in the early 19th century, which drove capitalism to another level, but it also created the conditions for the Civil War and then Jim Crow that came after it, and everything that we are living with now. Like, it is difficult to see how we get out of this situation without the same level of intensity, I shall say,
mm,
that got us to this point. Because it wasn't any kind of benign decisions. It wasn't, we didn't get here through unintended consequences. All of this, everything we talked about, all the exploitation, the credit scores, and the interest rates, and the unaffordability, and we doomed, we cooked.
mhm.
This is intentional.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing, and they've always known what they are doing. They have never been like, "Oh, I didn't know the whites were going to kill the blacks because they were mad that they thought the blacks were taking their jobs." They
Man. Yo, big up to ZZ Lion. Sitting in $5. Can't rent a car till 25.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
That's right. I didn't know that.
Oh, you
Thank
can't rent a car till 25 now?
No, that's right. Yeah, you can't.
Damn.
And if you're a certain person, if you rent that car in a certain neighborhood, they're gonna make you pay a deposit. 150, sometimes $250.
Man, boy, I tell
Hmm.
you. Listen,
Financial literacy that.
how about that? Hey, yo, chat, people out there listening, if you like what you hearing, if you learned something, if you didn't, if you just like the discussion, continue to support us. You can do it like you just see ZZ Lion did. Go to blkliberation.org, go donate on the website, be a Patreon member. This is how we continue to keep discussions like this going. This is how we grow as a people. We put this stuff out here and we have a conversation about it. Chat room helps us out. Thank you for the chat and the information that you give and the questions you pose also. This is how we build community right here. And we are tying up 2025 and we're about to go into a whole nother year, y'all. How do we organize? How do we get more community? How do we grow as a people? And we have to have these discussions somewhere. So I'm glad that we are able to be here on Black Liberation Media to have these discussions, to have the Remix Morning Show, to have Darker Than Blue, to have Sundays for some mental health and relaxation. You know, we want to give it all to you, build up mentally, spiritually, physically. Anything we could do, let's do it here and let's do it as a community. Darker Than Blue, what we got coming up?
I don't know. I don't know. I, I was telling my family, what Christmas spirit? What do you
Yo, big up to O underscore PE 499. Get kicked off your parents' Medicare insurance at 26. So many
Mhm,
discussions could be had. We got
mhm.
to do this again, Jackie. It was a great conversation with you.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate you.
yeah, man. I would say make sure y'all tune in. We're not going to be here tomorrow, y'all. We're gonna take the day off for tomorrow, but we will be back here Friday for some more Remix Morning Show. Like I said before, in case you didn't know, if you do like to celebrate or just like to hear some Motown sounds of Christmas music, I will be doing a mix tomorrow. So tune into that. You can play it in the background while you cook all your diabetic food.
Uh,
Um,
diabetic food. Okay,
what?
I'm gonna leave that one alone. Because you need to leave candied yams alone. Candied yams ain't never done nothing to you. You don't just eat them twice a year. Leave or when somebody dies. Leave candied yams
uh,
alone.
hey, somebody says, "Did Jackie have a Cash App? Do you got a Cash App, Jackie?
I do
Somebody
not,
want to send you
but I
some
have
love."
a PayPal. Let me
Okay,
see.
okay.
Let
Put it
me
out there.
see. I'm
Show
a pay.
Jackie some love, man. She, you know, we need it, but she definitely she
And,
needs some more love. She does
and
a lot for the people. She got a book coming out, or a book that's out, and she's working on
no,
another one.
coming out in the spring of 2026. Coming out next year.
Real.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. We out here doing things. Big up to Zenza Bell, showing some love. You make a great babysitter, Jackie. Yes.
Okay.
Zizwet.
We
$10.
don't want to test
Big
that
up to
out.
Zizwet. All right. Big love
I
to
am
the
trying to
people.
find my little PayPal link, and
Oh, look at that. You so long since somebody sent you some money, Jackie. It's
I know,
ridiculous.
man.
So they want to send you a gift, Jackie. So that's a beautiful thing.
Okay, I'm putting it in the chat.
Everybody out there, use Friends and Family Day to have a little discussion. It don't got to be too deep. That's going to break the family up. But let's have that conversation about how we did it back in the day with some of this youth, so they can understand how we look at the world, and then let them tell us about how they look at the world, so we can get an understanding from their perspective. That's a
Mhm.
great time for us to get together and build. So enjoy. We out of here, Jackie.
All right now.
We got
Happy
the
holidays, y'all.
yeah, we got the PayPal in the chat. So go ahead and show us some love and show yourself some love. You know what I'm saying? We see you we'll see you Monday. We're doing a 8 to 6. We're doing an all day stretch on Monday. So that's when the next time you
Mhm.
will see us. Jackie, are you coming through?
I shall.
Okay.
I
Well,
shall.
we'll see y'all Monday. Y'all have a great one. Take care. Remix Morning Show. I'm an ear doctor. That's Jackie Lukeman. Peace out.
Remix. 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 Remix.